I would like to start this video off by asking if we could get a moment of silence for Deadwire. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because after the Season 3 update, Treyarch decided to just go after zombies and nerf it to hell. They nerfed the best weapon in it, which is the Howler. They nerfed Deadwire, which was already nerfed previously, and they just made it even worse now, where to the point of it doesn't even fully kill zombies. After the 5th or 4th time it activates on one zombie, it will only kill them from my experience, which is horrible. It went from being an amazing ammo mod to a pretty good ammo mod that you could still use that took out less zombies, but it still took them out, to just being as bad as it was when it launched back in November. And I still think that they should go back and try to, instead of nerfing things, maybe buff some other stuff like the other ammo mods, which they even decided to nerf as well. For example, Shatterblast. It's not as good as it was. It's just a really big shame that Treyarch decided to do this, and that's what I want to check out in today's video. I went into investigation. I tried to see which ammo mod is the best to use, and unfortunately they're not as good as obviously Deadwire was, which is really okay. I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is the fact that they just nerfed them and they're just unusable. There's no need to use them. But if you're still curious, I will go into, obviously the ones that I think are pretty good. So if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and be sure to join our Discord server, link down in the description. We're trying to get up to 500 members, which is really close. So thank you all, guys. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. So obviously I used Deadwire to see if it's as bad as people were saying, and it's absolutely horrendous. So again, rest in peace, Deadwire. I tried to see Shatterblast. As I've mentioned, its explosive radius, or the damage, one of those isn't as good as it was in the past. It's decreased by half. And from what I found out, it's pretty bad. Blast Furnace is the exact same that it was in the past from my experience. It hasn't really changed in any way, and it's still poo-poo. And then it kind of stays down to the last two ammo mods, Brain Rot and Cryo Freeze. And in my opinion, out of the two, Cryo Freeze is probably the best. Now the reason I say this is because not only does it activate literally with nearly every single shot, as you can see here with the gameplay with the Swiss K31, but on top of all of this, it also has this effect that sometimes it can explode and affect nearby zombies with more damage, and on top of that, slow them down, which is really cool. Brain Rot, on the other hand, has the tendency of, not activating as often, but it, shoots out a zombie that's turned and is on your side and then goes after all the other zombies, potentially even turning other ones with a little effect that can happen occasionally. It also deals more damage on the mimics and turns mimics, turns manglers, turns tempests, which is really cool. And that's kind of what I came down to. Cryo Freeze and Brain Rot, which are in my opinion the two reliable ammo mods to use in Cold War. They're not as good as, obviously, as I've mentioned, Deadwire or anything else in the past, which is a huge shame, but I guess it's okay to use. Now definitely recommend using Brain Rot more when you're using long range weapons, and Cryo Freeze, for example, if you're going for melee weapons, because sometimes if you use it with an actual shooting gun, let's say an automatic, like let's say the PPSH, it could take away from the fact that if you're going for camos and other things like that, it will just continuously freeze zombies. Now it won't always kill the frozen zombie, but the cool thing about it is, again, it activates really fast, and it again slows down the zombie, so you won't have to really worry about it. And I recommend using it on higher rounds and outbreaks, since some of the zombies do tend to be ridiculously fast, and since other ammo mods are kind of useless now, Cryo Freeze is pretty reliable to use. But that's going to be for the video. This was more of like a complaint than anything else, and I just straight away got into the point and told you which one in my opinion is the best, and it has to be those two ammo mods. If you have any other opinions, I feel like most people will, so be sure to put them down in the comments. Don't hate, I just kind of tried to figure out which one the best is, and honestly, Treyarch, I don't know what you did. You just went after zombies and just made it full on poo-poo with some of the stuff, but okay, whatever. I guess at least they've kind of balanced out multiplayer from what I've heard, and other weapons are ridiculously overpowered. Nothing is as broken. Everything is just underwhelming. If you're new here, again, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace out.